The views and opinions expressed at Enhanced Down Under are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the official views of the company. Any content provided by our hosts are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.
Welcome to Enhanced Down Under. This is the official podcast channel of Enhanced NT. My name is Anna and I am a qualified education agent counselor. We are now on episode 26 titled Achieving Excellence in Hospitality. But before we proceed with our episode for today, let's have a quick recap of the previous episode titled Life After a Visa Refusal, What to Do. In the previous episode, we guide listeners through practical steps to consider after a visa refusal, and we also explained how to review the refusal letter for appeal rights and outline options such as submitting your appeal through the AAT or Administrative Appeals Tribunal, or by the way, this is now called ART or Administrative Review Tribunal. And we also discussed on how you are able to secure a bridging visa. If you want also to consider submitting an appeal or judicial review if in case there's a legal error with the ART part, and also of course after exhausting all other options, considering your plans of going back to your home country. With the episode today, we are thrilled to have Marga Tulay joining us for this podcast. And Marga is an accomplished hospitality professional and the recent awardee of Student of the Year of the International College of Advanced Education, or ICAE. Hi Marga.
Hello,
how are you?
Hello, Anna.
How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me.
Your first time in the CBD area?
No, not really.
In Mitchell?
Here. No, I've been here. I've been here.
So you live quite far from here, right? Casuarina area.
Yeah.
All right. So Casuarina is like 20 or 30 minutes away from the CBD. Okay. So Marga, tell us a bit about yourself.
My name is Marga. I'm from the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
I am, like you said, I've been in the hospitality industry for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently an international student here in Darwin, and I'm just enjoying life. Yeah.
And that's wonderful. We have a lot of international students here in Darwin. So, Marga, since I met Marga in the recent graduation of the ICAE. ICAE is one of the partner schools of Enhanced NT. And where she gave her speech, she delivered her speech being a student awardee. And that was a very impressive one, huh?
Thank you. I worked hard on it.
Well prepared. Very good. So, Marga, what motivated you to pursue hospitality industry?
It actually came from a very young age. My mom really opened my eyes on how traveling was. So you know how kids at the end of the year, you would receive presents, gifts, ganyan. For my mom, it was traveling.
Oh, okay.
That was my main gift. Every December, she'd take me somewhere. So it started out when we went to India when I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and it really opened my doors to see how the world is like. Something outside of my country, what it's like to ride airplanes, transit in another country, in airports, the layover time. So it really showed me what the world was like outside of what I'm usually used to. So I guess that's where it led me to hospitality, because hospitality is about, going to new places and eating good food and getting new experiences. Right. So when it's time for me to decide on what course to take up in university, I thought, why not pursue tourism management?
Tourism management.
Because it's it's all about travel. At that point in my life, I was like, oh, I want to do this for a living because it's always great to go places. But at the same time, home is still home.
Of course.
Go around and see what other people's lives are like. And then, it just led me to hotels and I started liking it. And I saw myself being here where I am now. So,
Kasi i-travel talaga, when you travel outside of your home country, it's different. It opens a lot of opportunities. Plus, the experience. It's something that money can't buy. Tapos parang it, hones you to become a better person. And with you started at a young age.
I did. I'm very lucky, I believe, because my mom is such a go-getter. She has such a big impact in how I live my life right now. Pero it's more of just like being observant and really being in the moment where I am at that time. So talagang na-enjoy ko siya. Yeah.
Have you traveled before in Australia?
It's funny because 2020, I planned together with the rest of my family to go to Australia, just have a look what it's like to live here. Because for as far as I can remember, of all the travels that I've gone to Japan, Indonesia, in the US, I've always heard an Aussie accent on the airplane. So I was like, why do they always travel? Like, what is the type of lifestyle that these people have? Because they make it a priority. It's the lifestyle. It's not like something that is so parang hard to achieve. It's just part of who they are. So I was like, oh, what is something about Australia? So then again, 2020, everything was booked. Visa was booked, the airplane tickets, accommodation, hotels, and everything. And then COVID hit.
Okay.
April 2020.
All right.
So we were like, okay, let's just not do it right now.
So it was halted.
That time.
So when did you arrive in Darwin?
I came September 2022.
2022, just right after the pandemic. So you just waited for the borders to open.
Yeah, that's right. Because I always wanted to get the feel of the place first before actually moving or seeing or actually like living. But, I had to make my decision and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, kasi during the COVID times, during the pandemic, some of the colleges here in Australia, they offered online courses. So at least, for students who are not able to travel to Australia because of the travel restrictions, they are still able to pursue their studies. So with you chose to wait.
Yeah, I chose to
kasi
wait.
iba pa rin yung experience, right? When you're already here. You get the feel of the culture, you get to, mingle with other students from other nationalities. So, but why in Darwin?
That's another funny thing because when I was asked by my agent, did I have any particular place in Australia where I wanted to study, I had no preference.
Right.
I had no preference. So they were suggesting a few places. And they were like, oh, why not Darwin? Wow, what is Darwin? What's in there? They were like, oh, it's a gateway to Asia. It's very tropical. It's similar weather to your country. It's very close to Indonesia, So it's not far. Basically, it's not far. So I was like, okay, why not? Darwin. Darwin it is.
Darwin. Kasi, the typical choices, of course, would be the more known and bigger cities like Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. But yeah, you're right. Darwin is a gateway to Asia and it's very close to Bali, an hour away via plane, ha? So, yes, and it's very multicultural. The weather is similar to the Philippines, to our home country.
And also because when I was living in the Philippines, I lived in BGC in Taguig where all the buildings and the skyscrapers are. So
Right. City life.
Change of scenery naman. So something different. Yeah.
Alright, so when you arrived here in September 2022, so when was the course intake? September also?
September
or was
also.
It? Okay. Can you share with us your life in ICAE? As a student, of course.
Yeah, so what I did was I first came in via Sydney. So I wanted to see
All right.
what the most iconic thing here is
the Sydney Opera House.
Very touristy. So
It
I started
is.
there. I went there for a week and then I moved to Darwin. It was very something new for me because it was very quiet and as I mentioned, I lived in the city. So for me to experience the malls or the shops closing at 5 in the afternoon, so early. Oh my gosh. But then again, I was like, oh, so this is something different from what I'm used to. So since this is how people live here, maybe there's more to life than just going to malls or going to shopping centers and things like that. So then I started navigating where I was gonna live here, or how I was gonna go from my home to my school, transportation, and how far the distances were. So I was very observant as to how life was like here for locals and how I was gonna adapt to being here, because I was already here, eh? So
might as well mingle and adapt.
Yeah.
Actually, Sydney, same thing that my son and I did. We went straight to Sydney. We just wanted to experience how it was like then before proceeding to Darwin. And anyway, your life as an ICAE student. Can you tell us more about it and the recent program that you finished, advanced diploma for hospitality, right? So, okay, tell us more about it.
Okay, so I actually finished 2 courses in ICAE already. First is the Certificate 4 in Hospitality Management, and then their most recent one, that's the Advanced Diploma. For me, since I've already been in the hospitality industry for quite a while before I came to Australia.
Back in the Philippines,
yes,
right?
Yes. And I also spent a year in the US when I did my internship. So I knew what it was like to work outside of my home country. I had that experience. So I felt like that was a big thing, that confidence boost, I guess, on how I would handle myself in times of certain situations, or how I deal with foreigners. I feel
right.
But going back to ICAE, since it was hospitality, I was so confident. I was like, oh, maybe this is just a refresher, I already know how to navigate around the industry. But then, lo and behold, it was mostly food and beverage.
Well, your experience before was more rooms, hotel.
Rooms related, yes. So it was all mostly lodging, check-in, check-out, rooms inspection, VIP preparations, things like that. So for me, F&B was another world, totally. Like, I had no idea how to even carry 3 plates, how to clean and clear the table, how to, So it was something new for me. I was like, I thought I knew a lot already.
So it's a different side of hospitality.
Totally different side. Totally.
Kasi before, when we say hospitality, kahit ako, even if I would have this impression, hospitality, hotel. But there's another section of hospitality, which is food and beverage, which is the expertise of ICAE. Right?
That's right. So during our classes there, it was really very hands-on. Our trainers came in from years and years of actual hospitality experience, and they were very caring, and they're very hands-on, and really looked at us, made the setting as if we were in a real restaurant. So we would set up our classrooms as empty, like an empty hall. It would start as an empty hall, and then we would start putting tables in. Or for example, you have 20 seatings of guests today. How are you gonna do that? And then the actual setting, how the plates will be, where the knives are, how as the distance from the cutlery to the glassware.
Okay, may ganon, may certain distance.
Yeah.
It's very meticulous. Those tiny details, talagang it matters pala, no? But anyway, kasi we have interviewed cookery students in the past, in our previous episodes, in our past episodes. Now, cookery, of course, we know that this is like an introduction to hospitality. Like you learn the basic, like food preparation. But someone who graduated, who finishes advanced diploma, tell us more about it. Ano yung difference? What is the difference?
I think more of actually service. Because when it's cookery, it's how the product is made, which is the food. But for us, it's getting the product from the kitchen to the table. So it's how we deliver it to the guests. For example, we take the plate, with the food in it. We ask how it is, what they want. Even before that, what they want to order, if they have a certain celebration that they want to do in the restaurant or a certain milestone, things like that. So it's more of like guest interaction really, and making them feel like they deserve it, that they're special. I think it's very important to make the guests known. Yes, of course, they're paying money for the service, but it's very important to maintain a genuine connection to the people.
And make their
who's
experience
dining.
memorable.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
All right. So yon, that is the job of someone like from advanced diploma.
Yes.
What else? What else?
But at the same time, it's also making sure that budgets are good, the ambience of the restaurant is in good shape. We have enough plates, cutleries, tables, and chairs for everybody to fit in.
Wow.
How can we accommodate people? And also maintaining a good relationship with the kitchen.
From portraits to event coverage, DKJ Photo Studio offers exceptional photography services tailored to your needs. Book your session today and experience the difference with DKJ Studio. Contact us at 0410151547 or visit us at Unit 5, 90 Mitchell Street, Darwin, NT.
Okay, so advanced diploma for hospitality deals more with like restaurant management.
Yes,
And
that's
then
right.
that. So after the food is already prepared, so you deliver to your customers and then make the memorable experience. All right. So how does the curriculum of ICAE help you stand out? Because you became like a student awardee. So how did it help you?
I feel like because ICAE is, the curriculum is based on 6 months theory in the full school year. So
Oh.
6 months you go to school, you attend the classes, and then you have assessments, you need 2 answers. And then 6 months to do industry placement. So in the Philippines, it's almost like on the job training.
Okay.
But you get paid if you work in the industry that is related to what you're studying in. You get paid. So when industry placement starts, there's a required number of hours.
Like how many hours?
Something like 500.
It's 500 hours for the duration of
the
6 months.
duration of 6 months.
Oh,
So for
okay.
example, it's the minimum of 25 hours per week.
Oh, yeah, like the usual. Because for international students, they are allowed to work 24 hours per week.
24, but on top of the 24, since it's
Plus
on,
the industry placement.
Yeah.
So it's like you're working full time.
Oh, yes.
That's
yes.
the good thing about it. So, like 6 months theoretical classroom setup. Okay. And then 6 months, like
Industry placement.
industry
out there in the
placement, you go
field.
out,
Oh.
you apply for a job,
Yes.
look for
Yes.
an employer. And then you get paid. That's the beauty of it. But are you still required to go back to school, a report?
Yeah, we have certain assessments that we need to do in line with the things that are need to be done while at work. So let's say, for example, you're doing cookery course, so you need to be in a commercial kitchen. And then you also have to answer assessments related to that to make sure that you're actually doing what you're meant to do. And then we're also given visitor from the ICAE trainers to see what we're actually doing on the field. Yeah.
Right. So you study and you also get paid. That's so wonderful.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, she received the Student of the Year award. So can I touch your trophy?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would just like to show this to everyone. See, it's so cute. Oh, diba? All right. So I know it's a very challenging, difficult feat. How did you achieve it? This is to motivate those other students, of course.
Actually, I'm very grateful to be given this award, honestly, and to be recognized for something that I'm doing and I did for the school. But I guess it's more of just, it's not because I have prior hospitality knowledge or I pursued a career beforehand that I got this award. I think it's more of the willingness to learn, because then again, prior to coming here, the level or the type of knowledge in the hospitality industry was totally different.
Yep.
But then again, I'm here already, and this is the type
You
of
embraced
information
it.
that, oh naman, because it's something new and it's what I'm here for. So I, like any of the students, I complied. I did what I had to do. I answered all my assessments. If I didn't know anything, I would ask. Yeah, and then I would also ask for guidance if I wasn't sure on how to do things, and if I knew that I had qualities, or I was capable of stepping up and doing things for the school. I mean, yeah, why not? Like for example, ICAE is not that big of a school, So one of the things that we do as students is we help out in the production overall of the graduation. So it happens twice a year. So cookery students cook, hospitality students we serve, we usher, we take charge from the setting up of the venue, tables and chairs, to greeting the guests, making sure that all the graduates are here, wear their
That's how
togas,
it
their
is.
gowns.
Okay, now I know.
Yeah.
Kasi we have attended, I think that was the third graduation that we have attended. So the food prepared by the cookery students, and yung higher for those
For the hospitality.
for the hospitality,
Yeah.
sila naman yung nag-usher ng guests. All right. At least
Yeah,
we
of
now
course.
have an idea.
With the trainers, assistance and guidance, of course, we would have done it without them.
Yeah, it's a huge production actually. And the ICAE, they're known to hold this memorable graduation rites. Plus, their CEO, Sean Mahoney, he always makes sure that the experience is so memorable, and he ensures that there's always a lechon.
Yes.
Right?
Always a lechon. So, yun. We graduate, and then also we enjoy food and drink with our loved ones.
They're very
trainers.
generous. They're very generous in their, in the food that they prepare. And it's always very, the experience is just, it's something that we look forward to.
Thank you.
Right. So, how are candidates, or how the awardees are being chosen?
From what I know, the trainers and the staff and the faculty, they're the ones who are making the decision.
Okay. Yeah. Were you informed before that, hey, you are a candidate for Student of the Year? Or?
No, but I was nominated last year. But I wasn't able to make it for my graduation last year because I had to travel to the Philippines. It was during Christmas time, so
December of last
I had
year.
to go home.
Okay.
But anyways, I was told I was nominated. But there were no prior to that. They just told me, "Oh, you're gonna be giving out a speech for the graduation." That was it. But that could also be a hint already, because from the previous graduations, that's usually what happens.
Yeah. Usually it's the Student of the Year.
Usually, but not said until they announce it there.
So at least they give you time to prepare.
Yeah.
How was the feeling when you found out? It's a huge achievement, huh?
In my heart, I knew already.
Because you did so well.
I knew I did what I just did what I had to do. I felt like there was nothing special about what do you
So
call
in
it?
short, you are a very diligent student.
I try my best, I'm not saying that I have the best marks or I'm the smartest or I know everything. Of course, there's always room for improvement.
Of course.
And learning new things and just being observant. But yeah, I'm just very grateful that I was given the award and that I was recognized for the things that I did.
For all your
and,
efforts.
Yeah.
That's good. So how did you manage your time between studies and working?
That's a funny question, because before I came to Australia, I was working full time in the hotel industry, and although I was given schedules, was mostly 9-10 hours work, I would often have 12 to 14
Even longer.
hours of work, and I lived right in front of the hotel where I was working at. So literally, when I would wake up in the morning, I would see that hotel through my window. But here in Australia, how I felt like here, I study, I work, but I still have time for myself. I still have time.
There's work-life balance.
I still have time to do the things I want to do. If I just want to relax at home, I can do that. If I want to hang out with my friends, I can do that too. But I still have time to do my assessments and to come to work. Yeah.
Whether you're planning a special occasion in our function hall, conducting meetings or workshops in our versatile multi-purpose room, brainstorming in our shared workspace, or creating lasting memories in our professional photo studio. We have it all in one place. We are here to help bring your vision to life. Reach us at 0410151547 for details, or visit us at 590 Mitchell Street, Darwin, NT. DKJ Studio, your hub for creativity and events.
Yeah, but are there any specific skills or experiences that made a difference for you to be able to achieve being the student award, being the Student of the Year awardee? I'm sure, of course, our listeners would be very much eager to learn.
I think it's more of just siguro if I had questions, I would voice it out. If I wasn't sure of things, I would ask. I'm not particularly shy, so I guess, and I'm very observant. So if there's something that I actually think is, good, why not? I would tell my my lecturers, and it's very, how do you say this? How I learned F&B in ICAE and how I applied it to my work is very realistic. For example, I learned how to make coffee. You know how Australia, it's a very coffee-oriented
Yes, the
lifestyle.
coffee culture is so rich
It's
here.
crazy. So, in the Philippines, it's just 3-in-1. You know?
It's so easy.
But
Here,
now, really, you have to make it from the coffee maker, not even the coffee maker, the coffee machine itself. So I learned the basic on how to make coffee, but I developed like how more details into coffee making when I was already at work. So at least I had the background, so I wasn't new anymore when I started that. And also knowing the differences, or like
so it helped in experience. Yeah.
casual dining from more formal setting, things like that.
For students, of course, like what Marga said, she's assertive, and she doesn't, she's not the shy type. And when she has to ask questions, she doesn't hesitate, because that's very important. As a student, you have to learn a lot, and don't be shy to approach your coach or your instructor, right? You're still at the learning stage. So yeah, that would help a lot if you are more assertive and you are diligent. And so, Marga, you mentioned earlier that you are currently working. Tell us about it.
Oh, so I currently work at Mindel Beach Casino Resort.
Mindel.
Yes, in the VIP area. It's on the second floor. And it's really a good place to work at. I feel like I'm very fortunate to be friends with the people that I work with. My colleagues are, they're pretty good. And we talk about, we talk about work, we talk about life, our insights, what we want to pursue in the future, because we're all pretty young individuals, and a lot of us are also migrants, a lot of students or partners like that. So it's a good place. And I also work at Casuarina All Sports Club, which is a family venue in Casuarina. And those two venues are very different. One is mostly for adults, where
The Mindel, yeah.
Yes, it's a casino resort, so we have a lot of pokies and card games, and then at the same time we have a family venue, so it has a lot to do with celebrations, birthdays, or when we have birthday parties, things like that. So it's a wide range of like hospitality venues that I work at, and I'm really having fun at both. I try to balance myself.
So you currently have two employers. Galing. How do you balance it?
I write it all in my planner. When and where, what time and what time. Because,
You're very organized.
No, I need to be. If it's just the mind, it wouldn't work.
Kung mental note. Right. So, how is it working in Mindel? I've never been there, actually.
Oh, you should go. It's very near.
It is. I've attended many times, but especially during the dry season, it's so crowded, they say. When, tourist flocks, because that's a pleasant weather. We have a pleasant weather here during the dry season. That's like from April up to October, right?
Yes, So I really like working there. I started in the banquets department, which is the events at the casino. When I was very new in Darwin and very new with F&B. So this is where I learned my basics on how to serve guests. Because these are events, these are 3-course meals, these are wine serving. And it's an event, so it's knowing when to clear, when to talk to the guest, how to...
So there's a perfect timing for
Yes, yes. And I'm really glad that it all worked out at the same time. When I was starting to learn F&B in school, I was applying it at work. So it wasn't something like just theory or something that I had to just keep in my head. Because like 1-2 weeks prior to what I was learning, I was already applying it. So it's very practical for me.
I find that very interesting. Like there's a perfect timing on when to clean up the table or talk to the guests. When actually is the correct time or the perfect time for that?
Usually we get briefed on when and where. Like for example, if there's somebody talking on stage, like giving a speech or something, that's not the time to clear because they're talking.
Yep.
It's gonna create a little noise. It's gonna distract the people because you're gonna take plate away from them.
Right.
So, but when it's on break or they just wanna, let's say music is playing, that's the time to clear. But then again, we have to follow the sequence of service. Like the entree comes first, and then the mains, and then the desserts, and what drinks go with that, what wines to pair.
All right. So, with the other employer, which is like more, it's a Casualina Sports Club.
Yes.
Tell us more about it.
Oh, it's a really fun venue where families can just gather, friends. There's also pokies and a pool table there. There's also outdoor seating for those who want to watch sports.
Is it a paid membership?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But it's very fun because I feel like when I work there, I'm really in Australia.
Why do you say so?
Because there's a lot of locals coming in. There's a lot of locals who actually work there compared to the casino where it's more diverse.
Kasi in casino, in Mindil, you're right, it's more diverse. We've known a lot of other nationalities who work there. We even have a Filipino friend who in this Italian restaurant, she works there. So in the other venue, which is the sports club, you feel that
although of
this
course,
is Australia.
of course we have foreigners there as well, but because Darwin is so diverse and multicultural, it's not very common to hear a authentic Aussie accent. But if I work there, start working there, and I just deal like everyday conversations with my colleagues and with our patrons.
So that's where the locals flock. And is that every weekend or?
Like I said, I try to balance.
Okay, so it could be a weekend or a weekday. Yeah. So, what unique skills or lessons have you gained from working, with different establishments like that Mindil and then this one as a sports club naman, and which caters to a different audience?
I guess it's more on like flexibility. Like I said, when I started in the casino, it was mostly events, so very formal type of setting. And then I got moved to VIP. This is where the high rollers play. They have their own lounge area where they can eat, drink, play. So that's where I am now, and it's also facing the sea, the water, the sunset. You know how the Mindil Beach sunsets are? We have that one upstairs.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. And I'm so blessed to be able to work in that type of setting, When you're a little bit stressed out, you just look into the water.
You get relaxed.
And then in the sports club, because it's a family-oriented place, we have kids who want ice cream or parents who just
different demand.
Very different, but then again, it's good because it creates a balance. Like in the casino, there's more retiree that just wanna live their life, and spend their money. And then there's also those families that just wanna catch up and talk about life. So yeah.
Unleash your potential and bring your ideas to life at DKJ Studios Shared Workspace. We are located at 590 Mitchell Street, Darwin, NT. For more info, follow us at Design Car John Facebook page.
So, how has this experience working in two different employers shaped your goals in hospitality? And where do you see yourself heading in the future?
You know, when I got into hospitality, I never really thought of myself pursuing like a higher position or being there for long, but I really enjoyed how it is to interact with people and making moments matter, because it's not just the food that they eat or the places that they go, but it's what they feel like when they are in your certain establishment.
So it's the whole experience.
Yes, that's it. From walking into the room, their guest room, and being like, wow, ang ganda naman dito.
Oh, alright. Kasi ako, like, I'm a customer. It's very good that this time I appreciate more the effort behind of those, of the people in the hospitality industry. There's art, dealing with people. There's so much effort behind it. Kaya pala, kasi ang galing. Like, ako, I appreciate, of course, yung mga receptionist, and then the table setup itself. But it's only now that I realize that there's more to it. Galing. So, like, you mentioned a while ago that you are able to balance your work and life. So, we are able to do that here in Darwin. In Australia, it's very common kasi they're very particular with work-life balance. But more so here in Darwin kasi yung setup dito is chill. Diba? So, ano lang dito eh. But, of course, there's no traffic. So, tell us more about your experience here in Darwin.
Yeah, I try my best when it comes to balance. Sometimes it's a little, but like for example...
More of workaholic ka ba?
Oh, I think Philippines made me that way.
Right.
But then again, I'm also very thankful for that opportunity because it made me who I am when it comes to work ethic. But also, Darwin made me not relax, but also to know when to really work and when to
slow down.
Because in hospitality sometimes it's busy, sometimes it's not. So maybe when it's busy, sige, dire-diretso tayo, ganyan, serve. But when it's not busy, it's time to talk to the guests. Hi, how was your day today? Did you enjoy food?
Right.
Is there anything
Just
I
connect
can
with
get
people,
for you? Ganyan. Yeah, and also because I guess that's true. There's no traffic here. You can calculate how long the distance, the travel time and the distance from going from one place to another. So nakat na agad yun. Hindi na ako mag-iisip kung kailan ako magbo-book ng Grab o ng Uber or sasakay ng taxi, something like that. So yun pa lang, wala na yun agad.
Ang galing. So, that's one of the advantages of living in Darwin, people. So, what advice can you give to other international students? And, international students who are already here and those who are aspiring to become international students?
For me, it's know what your aim or your goal is, what you want to achieve, but also be in the present and make the most of what life is like at right now. Kasi minsan we're so focused, ganito, gusto ko itong ma-reach. Pero there's so many things that you can appreciate na nangyayari ngayon. O let's say, estudyante ako ngayon. So mas marami akong oras, mas marami akong nakikitang mga tao, nami-meet, na iba't iba. So, I can network, I can see how these people live their lives, and maybe they can also help me achieve my goals. But also, being in good company, I think that's also really important. And also, I guess, staying true to who I am as a person. Because sometimes, let's say, we're Filipinos, but we're already here in Australia, so we need to be all Aussie, ganyan. We need to say, hi, mate, whatever, like that. Hindi. Stay true to who you are as a person. If sometimes the English is a little difficult for you, I'm sorry, come again, excuse me. I mean, it's okay. Kasi it's all about being yourself and knowing what it's like to be here. It's all an experiment. So let's enjoy what we have in the moment so that when we reach our goal in the future, we have no regrets to look back on. That's how I feel.
I agree with you on that. Kasi yung accent nila is quite different. Diba? And they're very, understanding naman. When, I'm sorry, sometimes they speak slowly for you to be able to understand more of what they're saying. So that's the culture of Australians. So I've worked in Australian Embassy for 13 years, and I'm not sure if that's part of the orientation of the diplomats that come to the embassy prior to being assigned there. But yeah, they're polite and they know how to slow down, because when they talk among themselves, nako, you wouldn't really understand them.
Nakakatawa kasi feeling mo if you're in the Philippines, you're so used to it, like English is our second language.
Yes.
But then again, this is a different type of English. This is like,
yes,
you need to adjust your ear. You need to adjust your ear.
You think you can speak, and you're hearing English. When you arrive in Australia, it's different.
It's loading in your head. It takes a while, no? Kahit yung mga matatagal na dito, I'm sorry. Pero it's okay. It's part of living here. That's what it is. And they're very polite. Tama ka dyan. They're also very not relaxed, pero they're not kumpara mo sa ibang Western countries, hindi sila ora-orada agad-agad. Like for example, when they want to order something, you need to act like, for example, in the bar, you acknowledge their presence. Hi, I'll be with you in just a second. So at least the bar person, me, I know I have acknowledged them. Pero since I'm still working on another person's drink, wait lang, pasensya na po, sandali lang. And they understand that. They're like, oh, when you get a chance, when you're ready.
They're more considerate.
Yeah. So okay yun. It really helps you parang understand what it's like to be them and what it's like to actually work here. So
yeah, and it would also help, if you have other friends that you can meet while you're here studying. Kasi although work and life balance is being observed, it would also help. Kasi we have a podcast guest before. He's Andrew Coloma. He's now an Australian citizen. Hi, Andrew. He admitted himself he's a social butterfly. And, it helped him a lot to be able to find good employers. And he maintained his good relationship with them. That's why, I think he still works with the same employer, at least during that time that he became our podcast episode. So that's one, your personality, your grit, to be able to achieve your goal. You have to be more determined and at the same time assertive. Marga here is a perfect example. A very, assertive and outgoing person who is not shy to ask questions. Yeah, so that wraps up our episode for today. Thank you so much, Marga. Anyone that you'd like to mention? Say hi.
Hello to those who know me.
All right. So we hope that you have learned something from this episode. That would be all for today. Anyway, our office is located at 590 Mitchell Street, Darwin, and our email is skills@enhancednt.com.au. You can contact us at 0879792352. Please like, subscribe, and share our social media platforms. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Spotify. Thank you for joining us on this video podcast. Thank you, Marga. We hope to have you on our next episodes. So whether you are an international student, aspiring to study abroad, or a professional looking to work in Australia, it is essential to seek professional advice, stay informed, and embrace the opportunities that migration brings. Up until next time.